Okay, so we're all done working out. It's time to stretch. All I really use is a foam roller. The rest are just body weight stretches. I'm gonna start out, just spread legs, and I'm gonna go one side, 20 seconds, and then I'm going to the other side 20 seconds, and then I'll go to the middle 20 seconds. You want to try and bring your chest to the ground. You don't just want to reach. You want to, especially when I'm doing the middle here, I want to make sure I'm trying to touch my chest to the ground. I don't just want to reach out as far as I can. That's going to just put pressure on your lower back. You really want to hit your groin and your hamstrings here. So I'm going to just try and get my chest. Some people are actually able to touch their chest to the ground. Not that flexible, but that's the goal, is you want to push your chest towards the ground. So after that, I go into just a slight hamstring. I like to just do this to get my hamstrings a little bit looser after I just really mess them up in the workout. I'm going to do a deeper hamstring stretch at the end. So I'm just going to, just your typical touching your toes, pulling, and I'm just really lightly kind of pulling on my toes, trying to straighten my back out and get a nice little hamstring stretch. Nothing too crazy here. I don't want to overdo it. And only do that for a couple seconds. Gonna come to quad stretch now. It's gonna be actually a 2-in-1. I'm gonna do a quad stretch and a hamstring stretch at the same time. So I'm gonna come up onto this foot. And so obviously I'm putting pressure and I'm putting my weight on here. And then I'm gonna grab this toe, and then I'm gonna flex my quad, keep my quad flex, and also try and lean over. So I'm putting pressure on this leg and also touching this toe, stretching out this hamstring really nice, and also stretching out the quad. I do, 20, 30 seconds both sides. And then after I do both sides there, I'm gonna come here and I'm just gonna sit on both my quads. Just sit here. I usually sit here honestly for a good 2 minutes, sometimes even longer. The longer you stretch, the longer lasting the stretch and the mobility is gonna last. If you're just doing short 10-second stretches, that's more like a dynamic warm-up. That's the stuff that you wanna do before your workout to warm yourself up. To get long-lasting mobility, you have to sit in these uncomfortable situations for a long, extended period of time. After this, I'm gonna go into a yoga pose. I'm gonna bring my hands up above my head, and I'm gonna try and push my hips back with my hands. It's gonna stretch out your lats, your upper back, and if I bring my knees out, which I also do here, you can bring your knees out here, and then I push back, and this is also gonna get your groin and your hip, and you're gonna get a hip back and a lot of different stretches all in one here. This is a little bit but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, and then after I'm here, I'm gonna come forward here, and I'm gonna sit in this pose right here with I'm gonna sit with my legs flared out. I almost look like a frog right now. I'm not just sitting here. I'm gonna take deep breaths in, and I'm really gonna relax my groin, all of the center of my body. You really wanna just completely relax. You take a deep breath in and then a deep breath out and release everything, all the tension, and really loosen up that middle area, because after doing a big leg workout especially, everything's gonna be super tight, and you don't want it to be tight. That's the goal. We're trying to loosen things up. All right, we're gonna come onto our back now, and we're gonna do a piriformis stretch. So I'm gonna grab this foot here, and I'm gonna hook it on the back of this knee. And some people just sit here. You can push on this knee. It'll really get a nice hip flex, but I kind of created this myself. I like to bring my leg up and then grab my toe. And now I'm gonna pull here and pull. I'm gonna pull on my toe here, and I'm gonna pull on this foot. And I'm really gonna get a hamstring stretch. I'm gonna get a piriformis stretch. I'm loosening my hips up. It's a multifaceted stretch. Obviously gonna do both sides. We're gonna do a similar stretch, but from sitting on our butt. So I like to really get a good deep stretch with this. Grab my ankle here over top, and then I'm gonna underhook my foot with my elbow, and then I'm gonna bicep curl it in. And I can even use here, grab here, and I wanna pull in as much as I can, and then straighten my back out, really get a good hip stretch. I'm gonna come into a 90-90 position. First, we're just gonna do a simple regular hip glute stretch. Really more of a glute stretch, so I'm just gonna lean over, and same as that yoga pose, I really wanna relax all of my muscles. I wanna feel like I'm sinking down into the floor. Then I'm gonna come up with my foot up, leg straight. And so this is gonna put more pressure. You really only have to do this if that other stretch isn't enough. Okay, now for hip mobility. I had hip surgery, and so hip mobility is very important to me. So first, we're gonna come into this position. We're gonna try and stay upright as much as possible. So you're gonna lift this back foot off the ground and back down. And we're gonna do 10 reps of this. We're gonna do heel touches. So you're gonna bring your hip up, and then you're gonna come up, touch your heel, and come back down. We're gonna do 10 of those as well. And then you're gonna repeat the same thing on the other side. Now, just like we did when we were warming up for our squats, instead of doing pulses, so we're not gonna bounce, now we wanna statically hold and push with our glute through, get a good nice stretch in that hip flexor. And we're gonna switch it to the other side. Hold these for around 20 seconds. We're gonna come into a Saigon squat here. Just gonna sit here for a little bit, push out on your knees with your elbows, really get a good groin stretch. You can even grab onto your feet to get extra leverage to really push out and get your back straight up. If you know that you're lacking in your squat mobility and you can't really get into a full depth squat, I would definitely recommend you to hold this for at least a minute. The goal is to keep your feet flat on the ground, heels on the ground, toes on the ground, and try and evenly distribute your weight. I'm gonna come up, stand up, just keep your hands on the ground here. And I like to just chill here with your feet still spread out. It's gonna be easier to touch the ground. And you know, I'm able to palm the ground, but you might be here, you might be here. Everybody's gonna be in a different spot. The only thing that I would tell anybody is try and keep your back as straight as you possibly can. And obviously the goal is to touch that ground. It's time to bring our feet in. There's 2 different variations. If you are able to palm the ground, do the stretch like that. If you cannot, I would recommend do one leg at a time. So the way you do that is, let me turn to the side here. So you're gonna, if I'm doing my right leg, I'm gonna bend my left leg a little bit, right? Straighten out my right leg. And this is gonna allow me to get a little bit deeper. And the more you bend this leg, the farther down you're gonna be able to get. The point is to be able to get this leg straight and touch the ground. If you're not able to touch the ground, that is completely fine as well. But this is gonna make it easier, and this is gonna be a better way to progress than starting here and trying to just reach your way and just constantly trying to get to the ground just from this way. This will give you a good progression. One thing you do want to focus on is not just touching the ground and keeping that leg straight, but once you have that leg straight, you want to flex the quad. It's going to really tighten up that hamstring, really put a lot of flexion and really stretch it out. And this is one that is really uncomfortable if you're doing it right, but you want to sit here for a while. I like to sit here for at least 30 seconds, up to a minute sometimes. Now we're going to come into our split stretch. This is not something I do a whole lot. If I have extra time, this is something I like to do. And really, this all depends on what your goals are. If you want to be able to do a split, I would recommend you to do this and come into just your typical split here. Use your hands as assistants to guide yourself down. You don't want to tear something. So come down until you're at a point where you're comfortable and just sit here. You're just going to sit here for 30 seconds to a minute, 5 minutes, whatever you want to do, however much time that you have. I wouldn't go any less than like 30 seconds though. After we've sat here long enough, now we're gonna point this toe up, and then we're gonna spin around, and we're gonna put this hand on the other side and turn the back foot in, and now we're gonna do this kind of split. Honestly, not sure what the names are here. This is gonna put more stretch onto your hamstrings. Try to get upright as much as possible. Obviously, try to get down as much as you possibly can. You see, I can almost touch, I can almost do a full split. I'm getting there. And now, after you do this side, we're gonna come back to the front, and we're just gonna switch legs here and come to the other side, doing the same thing. After that, we're gonna come here, and I like to work my way back with my hands and then sit with my butt. Because from here, now we're gonna go into the upper body stretches. We're gonna do a lat stretch and upper back stretch. So you're gonna interlock your fingers, get your back upright as much as possible, and you wanna overextend your shoulder blades and stretch out your scapulas. You wanna almost try and pop out your shoulders. You're really reaching, and you're just gonna reach and then retract. Then you're gonna reach and retract. And you're gonna do that 10, 15, 20 times. So I'm gonna put my hands behind my back here. I'm gonna rotate my shoulders forward until I can't anymore. And then I'm just gonna rotate them back and squeeze and you should get a nice little stretch in your shoulders and your chest. And then you're gonna come forward, and you're just gonna keep going back and forth, 10, 15, 20 reps at the most. Classic arm across body stretch. I'm gonna bring my arm across my body, bicep curl it with my other arm, and I'm just pulling as much as I can to really pull my arm across my body and get my stretch in my rear delt and my upper back. Switch sides, hold these for 15, 20 seconds. I'm gonna come up with my arm over here. I'm gonna grab it with my other arm, and I'm gonna bring it behind my head, and I'm gonna use this arm to lat pull down this arm, and you'll get a nice good stretch in your shoulder, really stretch it out. I really like this stretch. Switch arms. The next one is gonna be a chest and thoracic spine. So I'm gonna lay down on my side here. I'm gonna put my arm that I'm stretching behind me, and I'm gonna take this leg here, and I'm gonna throw it over, and then I'm gonna use this hand, put it on the ground, and push. The more I push, the more you're gonna feel that stretch. I'm gonna flip over to the other side, pushing with the opposite hand, getting that nice good stretch. All right, this is the last stretch. You can do this 2 different ways. So the leg that we're gonna be stretching is my right side here. I'm gonna bring it across my body. Now, one way to do it is keep your knee bent like this and push down onto your knee. And the main component in either variation of this stretch is to keep your both shoulders on the mat or on the floor. So if I'm here, I'm not getting the stretch. You can even grab onto something here if it really helps. Or you can extend this leg, and I can grab my foot here and really gets a good stretch. This one sucks. I cannot hold this for a long period of time. We're gonna switch it to the other side, do the same thing. That is it for all of the stretches. We are not done yet though. We do have this handy dandy foam roller. At this point, roll out whatever still feels a little bit tight. I'll roll out my glute, roll out my hip a little bit, get the IT band, loosen up that leg. But always, no matter what, even if you have a specific injury or a specific tightness on one leg, do the other leg. Even if it's not tight, if you're doing one leg, if I'm doing this leg, then I wanna do the other leg as much as I just did this leg. If you don't, you're gonna cause slight imbalances, and that's how you really mess things up. You don't wanna get imbalances. No matter what, always get the back roll out. A secret that a lot of people don't know is if you hug yourself here as much as you can, and then round your back and go, you get the nice cracks. All right, so that's it for the entire stretch routine, and let's head out of here.